Hey everybody, it is Sunday, October 28th, and I'm going to try to get this done before the dogs decide to come in again, and I already hear one, so hopefully I can get these done beforehand. Here comes the rest of them. Okay, so today for Commanding Life, it says, making the first step toward creating happiness can be hard, but necessary. Don't let fear freeze you from moving forward. Just start, stay present, and take it one step at a time. Concentrate on how you are able, not how you are disabled. Remember, it is a series of continual steps, no matter how strong or shaky, that make up a fulfilling journey. Okay? And then we have healing energy tools for today. The universe is saying to you today, recognize and acknowledge the divine light within yourself and others, and give yourself the opportunity to shine your light. Be happy and love yourself more. And I kind of want to focus on that Commanding Life one about taking the baby steps. And it is one of those kind of things where everything you do should be in baby steps. If you do it all at once or try to do it all at once, you're going to end up finding yourself in frustration and not as motivated to do it, or feel like you're failing, so it's one of those things where everything in life, especially if you're making choices to change and make changes, you got to do it in baby steps. Okay, hang on a second, I'm going to see if I can pause this and get a hold of these guys. Okay guys, sorry about that. I shoot them out, hopefully they'll stay out so I can get this video done. But one of the things that is in baby steps is, changing your nutrition habits and stuff. So you're used to eating a certain way, and if you're looking to change that because, say, you're on medication for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, whatever health issues that have come up over the years, and sometimes those medications can be really, really expensive. I spent a total of 10 years as a certified pharmacy technician, and I'm back in that loop again. And I'm glad that I'm in that loop, because now I can become more up to date on what different medications they've come out with since I was in it last. But I learned a lot. I learned a ton working in that industry. As much as, it has, a hold of us as humans, I've learned a lot, and I continue to learn a lot, and I'm able to apply that information to my holistic end of the spectrum. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I totally think that we can't, it's not just no medications. I mean, sometimes it is warranted there, and sometimes it could be that, okay, well, while you're making those positive changes in your life and taking those baby steps, this will help in the meantime to get you to where you can be without it. So, I'm not totally against it, medications and stuff. But at any rate, I do believe that, some medications are warranted. But at the same time, I want to be the one to be able to provide the education for these people so they can look at themselves and be like, you know what, I'm paying $300 a month for medications. That's a huge chunk of my income. Well, especially if there's only like a 2-person household and you're spending $300 for one person's medications. Do you know how much in groceries you can buy? You start spending that much on your vegetables and your fruits and, all your good foods, the foods that don't have labels or ingredients. The food is ingredients, as I think it's Jamie Oliver says. As soon as you start spending that money and eating well, you're going to find you're not going to need those medications. Your numbers are going to get better. And before you know it, you're going to start feeling better, and you might even have more energy to take a walk around the block, or take a longer walk. Maybe hop on a bike and go around the block. Who knows, But the key is education as well. And I think, unfortunately, we don't have enough education for people today's society, for them to understand or have some, or be able to go someone to understand how this whole entire thing works. Because let me tell you, trying to explain how, say vaccines or medications work with the human body and the complex systems, and mind you, I've taken A&P. I've been a science health person since high school. Okay, and I've been out of high school since 95. All right, so we're talking, at least 20 years or better. The human body is such a complex system. It's unreal. It really is. There is so much to it, but at the same time, it seems like there's not enough education out there on the end of nutrition. And I think that that's a huge misstep, and in the medical healthcare field part. And it's not readily available. It's difficult to find, someone that's able to sit down and say, hey, look, I'm not deterring you from taking the meds or listening to your PCP or, your specialist or whatever. But if they haven't talked to you regarding nutrition and things that you can change, we need to have a talk. We need to sit down and have a talk. Problem is, insurance usually doesn't cover that type of stuff. Very rarely does it actually cover anything on that aspect, like considered the alternative or natural or holistic end, and I think one of the big things that we can do is actually have insurance companies cover things like that. Cover those of us that are holistic practitioners and have gone to school, have the education and background to help people make these changes, rather than them saying, well, it's too expensive, I can't afford that either, otherwise I don't eat this month, or I don't get my meds this month. I think that would be something that would change the dynamic of the suffering, basically, that everybody, or a majority of the population, not everybody, but the majority of the population is going through. I mean, we're seeing kids, I just got through watching Food Inc. this morning again. I watch these documentary films willingly. I absolutely am just intrigued with the information that is, in these films. And Food Inc. is one of my top ones. I've watched it several times. I watched it for a class. I have, a group paper to do on it. And watching it again this morning, it kind of makes me upset and almost into an anxiety attack with the information, as bad as that sounds. But the thing is it's true. We're seeing more instances of, foodborne illnesses. They're mutating and becoming more serious and killing more people. And, a lot of times I see people posting pet food recalls. Everybody's up in arms. Oh my God, my pet food, my fur baby. I get it that fur babies are, people's children too. I get it. Thing is if they had that same reaction, that same uproar for recalls and the foods that we humans consume, I really think we would have such a huge shift in the food dynamic, basically. Because right now, if you look, I actually posted on Facebook, on my Facebook page, a couple of links as I was doing some research for my Western diet class, of like infographics. And basically it boils down to a handful of companies. I think I don't know when the last time it was done. I didn't check, sorry, but I want to say maybe 2010, 2011, maybe. There's a handful of companies, maybe 5 to 10, maybe even less, of companies that own all the brands, including some organic brands. So when you actually watch this movie Food Inc. and get just the gist of how powerful these corporations are that are in charge of the food industry, in charge of our food, which in turn, when we eat, can either help or harm our health, which here in more recent years seems to be harming more than helping if you're making those choices for say, the processed foods and the added sugars. And I mean, the whole 9 yards. It actually makes me very upset to know that this is happening. The government's letting it happen. And I mean, it even goes through some of the different, bills that have been introduced, that have been, vetoed, shut down, when it allows the consumer to be informed. What is it? The right to know. Consumers' right to know about their food. And those have been struck down. So they're basically keeping it from us, on knowing where our food comes from, and it's just a shame that it has come to this. We don't even know who our farmers are. We really don't. Unless you do buy local, or you're aware of, maybe you have some farmers markets where you can actually meet the farmers that raise their own, say, meats or vegetables, fruits, whatever. If you actually trace back where your food is from the finished product, trace it all the way back, I would bet that we would have a lot more people lobbying and saying, you know what, I want my kids to live a healthy and long life. I don't want them to have to worry about, am I going to pay for my rent this month, or am I going to pay for my meds that are keeping me alive? What kind of choice is that? What kind of life is that to live? But you know what, again, like I said, it has to start with baby steps, and it has to start with you guys. It has to start with us. It has to start with everyone. And it's like we all have to get together and say, you know what, enough's enough. Is it easier to go to the drive-thru and get off the dollar menu? Sure. If y'all only watch, like I said, just watch these documentaries, and don't shut it off. Don't shut it off. I'm telling you, it's going to make your stomach turn. My stomach turns every time, and I've seen these documentaries several times. And like I said, willingly, yeah, my stomach churns. Absolutely. Just a little while ago, I ran to the store, had to pick some stuff up, and I was like, okay, I don't want to run 50 places. I live far enough from town as it is. It's a 20, 25 minute drive, depending on traffic, once I get into town. But I was looking at the meats at this store, okay? And, they're organic. They had prepackaged 1 pound packs of organic ground beef was $6 a pound. And my usual store that I shop at for that, they almost every week, not every week, almost every week, have it on sale, have grass-fed ground beef on sale for $3.99 a pound. You can't even get the junk stuff, the 85-15 or the 90-10 or whatever at other stores for that price. Usually, now last time I checked, because it's been so long since I've even remotely bought that stuff, because I can't. My whole family, we tried it, and we can't even eat that stuff anymore. It's just that bad for us. It was like $7 a pound. That wasn't even grass-fed. That was just your conventional stuff, the stuff, the factory farming beef, and it's a shame, because a lot of people, when you tell them about other stores, they do the whole, oh my God, that must be expensive. No, not really. Actually, I can walk out of that store with 2 buggy fulls for what I get in another store at a half buggy full, and it's all about education. And, that's one of the parts of this whole thing that I'm really working on. And, once I get my bachelor's in May, and possibly, working on another bachelor's after that. But once I get that bachelor's, I really want to work on my business and really push the education and information out there for people and make it affordable enough. Even if I have to hold classes, find somewhere to hold classes, and just give just a smidgen of information to the population in the area. I mean, then that's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. If we can get more people to, say, container garden, get some containers and, put a tomato plant in there. It's just that much you don't have to purchase or worry about purchasing, and you don't have to go anywhere. You get it right from your yard. We're working on the garden, and like I said, that was our best experience ever, was when we had our garden back east. Oh my gosh, cut down on our food bill huge because we had it in our backyard. We didn't have to go anywhere for everything. Again, baby steps. So, it's like I'm rambling on about this, but this is something that just really, really gets me, and like I said, I've been there, done that. I've been in the situation of having to make the choice, and don't get me wrong, still run into it. Do I pay the cars, or do I get food? Do we put gas in the car so we can go to the store to get food, or put gas in the car, go to work to make money to pay for the car and the food? You know what I mean? No one's exempt unless you're that $1 billion winner from the lottery, or even millions of dollars. No one's exempt from this. No one is exempt. And, that's one of the things where I said, man, if I had that kind of money, I would so be promoting programs to help the community learn and educate them about this stuff, and even spread the word about it. Go to different communities, to the point of maybe going out of state, form a, what is it, the 503C, whatever, the non-tax, I'm sorry, I can't even think of it, but, forming something like that, where, hey, it's education. We need more people to understand that, yes, you have the right to stand up and say what you need to say, and you deserve the right to be listened to. This is not, this is your life. I keep reading things too about, you spend, 18 years, 19 years, whatever, going to school. Then you spend the next few decades working, 40 years, 50 years, and then when you're, 65, 70, you're supposed to enjoy that time. At the rate we're all going, we're not going to be seeing retirement. We're going to be working ourselves to death, and that's going to be the end of it. We're never going to see retirement. We're never going to be able to enjoy our life. And that's what I want to show. I'm going to hit 42, and I'm more excited than ever. I remember when my dad turned 40, and I was thinking at the time, I was like, I'm dreading the day that forget it. It gave me a whole new lease on life. You know what I mean? It was just, you know what? There's just so much more out there. There is just so much more for all of us. And it's a matter of being educated, having the resources, and, going out there and doing it. And like I said, baby steps. It's always going to take baby steps. You try to do it all at once, forget it. That's when you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to feel like you're failing, or something's going to fall through. You can't do it all at once, and you don't want to ruin what you're passionate about. So you got to take those baby steps. You have to. And like I said, even if it starts with just yourself and spreading the word at how you did it, how your health has gotten better, even, like I said, share with your doctors, your PCP specialists, whatever, it takes. Share with your friends, share with your family. Sure, there's going to be people that are going to be like, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm at this age, and I worked all this time, and I'm set in my ways, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. Yeah. And then when you have the serious health problems, you're on death's door, you're going to be, praying or whatever it is that, you don't die. You got to make sure that if you don't want to die at a young age, you've got to do something. You can't just be stuck in the mindset that I'm going to do whatever I want because. Well, then expect to have some not so good consequences from that if you're going to carry on with the bad decisions and bad choices. I mean, it's not, seriously, it is not going to kill you unless it's tainted with E. coli or something now. That's a whole other, again, back on Food Inc. But it's not going to kill you to eat some vegetables, really. I mean, instead of plopping a big old roast or something in the crock pot and then just putting a few vegetables around it, put all your vegetables in first, okay? Put all your vegetables that you want to use in first, then cut up your roast meat, whatever you're putting in, to fit with those vegetables, okay? You don't have to sit there, squeeze, the whole entire thing in there. You don't have to do it because guess what? You just made a second meal. Cut what you can up, put it in the crock pot. Whatever's left, guess what? Freeze it for another meal. And guess what? That $10 roast, well, I got it for $10 today, but however much that roast is, you cut it, that price in half, and you actually, have your meal. I mean, you figure, okay, so got a 10-pound roast. Used about half of it in the crock pot now, $5. Got a package of celery and carrots. I believe they were $2.99 a piece. So, okay, $6 for that. Used half of each package. So, okay, $3 plus the $5 roast. Okay. Then I had pressure canned some potatoes. I had 2 jars of potatoes, I think it was 12 or 16 ounce jars of potatoes that I did. And that was from a huge, I think it was 40-pound box that we got when we went to one of the warehouses and bought it. And I think that whole 40 or 50-pound box was $15 maybe dollars, So, I mean, it was, so altogether for a nice meal, including the vegetables, having the meat, cost probably not even $10. And chances are we're probably going to have leftovers on top of it. So it's a matter of shopping smart as well. But again, sometimes some of us don't know how to do that. I had to learn a lot of this on my own. I didn't have anyone to teach me this stuff. I had to learn on my own. And I really had a tough time. It is hard. I'm not kidding you. It is hard doing this stuff. And that's where I want to come in and be able to provide that to the public, to, neighbors, the communities, and get them to understand. I mean, I would love to, as I said before, open a wellness center, everything under one roof. And at one point, too, I was even looking at some land near where we used to live and actually was thinking of doing an urban garden thing where it would be kind of like a community garden. You put time into helping grow all these fruits, vegetables, whatever. You get to take some home once they're ready. Absolutely. It's voluntary, but you know what? You're going to get some nice fresh food out of it, too. Then, also, farmers markets, maybe on the weekends, the stuff that's ready to go, put it out, do it by donation. Hey, we're running on, donations. It all goes right back into this, community garden where people are helping out, I got so many ideas, and I have to remember baby steps. Gotta take those baby steps and work my way up. And, accomplishing those things would be better than winning the lottery, honestly. Because I know accomplishing those things, I will be helping people. And it didn't require me to win the lottery. It didn't require me to win millions or billions of dollars. But it allowed me to help the community, help other people, not only to eat better, but to educate, to show them how to cook these things. I keep seeing another thing too. I think it was another Jamie Oliver thing where he was in a school and kids didn't even know what vegetables were what. I had no clue. And as we keep passing, or not even passing that knowledge to the generations, it's gonna get worse. We're gonna see the life expectancies of our kids go down. Our life expectancies are just gonna diminish. It's not gonna be a very good thing. And I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see future generations that are literally before they get into school having health problems that shouldn't even be worried about until they're in their 50s, and yet they're barely 10 and they're suffering from diabetes, they're suffering from heart issues, high cholesterol, obesity. It's just disheartening to see that, we would do anything for our kids, our younger generations, and yet we're continuing to hurt them at the same time. We're not helping them, we're hurting them. And I would love to see more people involved in helping our younger generations. And that way, as they get older, they can pass that information on to their kids, grandkids, whatever, however many generations down. So that way we start seeing more healthier people living happier and healthier lives. I think that would be tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. So, I don't know. Keep you guys posted, because now, the wheels are turning again. I'm always doing 50 things at once. My husband always tells me, you need to figure out what you want to do. I know. I'm trying. I can't help it. I just get so excited when I have all these ideas and, how to try to go about doing it, helping other people. I just get excited because it's helping other people. It's being able to let other people know that you have options. You're not, in a hopeless situation. There are options. Absolutely. You can say no to things and you can say yes to things. And always remember that. And always remember it's baby steps. Whether you start off by cooking one meal a night, that's a step in the right direction. At least you're, cooking a meal. And it doesn't even have to be that it's all organic or all good. As long as you are cooking a meal instead of eating out that meal, that's a start. That's that baby step. And then eventually, maybe you can make it cooking 2 meals a week. Work your way up and get to the point where then you start getting particular about, okay, well, with vegetables, let's get organic this and try it, and organic that. Or even, if you can't get fresh, frozen's not bad either. That's kind of like my backup second choice on stuff. If I can get fresh, I'd rather do that. But as long as I have some frozen on hand, I'm good. So, all right, they're getting antsy. And I've already been yapping for almost a half hour. So, all right, guys, always remember baby steps. And I want to see the excitement. I get so excited. I hope this get some people excited as well. And please, if you get that chance, watch Food Inc. It's on Netflix. And then once you watch that, all these other documentaries are going to come up. There's OMG GMO and Vegucated and Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Just a whole slew of them. And, like I said, watching these will definitely have an impact on your life and really start making you think, What can I do to help? You know, what is it that I can do? What baby steps can I take? Not only for myself, but even making that choice. They say we vote with our dollars at the grocery store. Well, if you keep buying all the processed food and all the processed junk, that's going to promote the companies to make more because that's what you're demanding. Whereas you put the money in, you buy the fruits, fresh fruits, vegetables, and things like that, the companies are going to be like, whoa, wait a minute. They're not buying the processed stuff over here anymore. They're actually buying this stuff. We need to keep up on this. And that's what's going to help start make changes in our environment and society. So, all right, guys. Got to get these guys, you know, some doggy loving time. All right. Have a good Sunday and have a good Monday. And I will catch y'all later. See ya.